Looks like I'm live. Hey guys, Kevin here from Freelance Computing. It's been quite a while since I ran a Facebook Live, and apparently YouTube changed how they run Go Lives now. I guess you have to use a streaming service in order for you to take that feed and import it into YouTube Live. So I'm just gonna download this video and just upload it manually later. And I'll put a link in the comments to my YouTube page. So if you guys have some time, if you guys wouldn't mind going there and subscribing to it, it'd help out a lot. Anyways, yeah, so like I said before, it's been a while since I did a Facebook Live video, so I figured I would start up again with something that I am currently working on amongst all the other stuff. I'm not sure if you guys follow my Instagram. So mine is Freelance Computing Inc. And then for my store up in Concord, it's Concord, New Hampshire. Oh wait, where did I put it? Computer Repair Today. Sorry, that was bad. Anyways, all right. So shameless plugs. All right, so let me show you guys what I am going to be working on. So this right here, as you can see, is a Lenovo ideacentre. Specific model is, I put in the description, but I can't read it. It's a 510-23ISH. Okay, so what's interesting about this one is that they do have a 510A-23ISU, I think is the model number. It looks a little bit similar, but I couldn't find anything online on how to remove the screen. So I already took the liberty in advance to take the whole thing apart just to make sure that I don't screw anything up. I'm sure that everyone loves to see that when I do that on live, especially working on iPads and phones and having glass shattered into my face. But unfortunately, this was probably going to be a little bit, I don't want to say boring, but not as entertaining. The part is actually pretty easy to remove, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that in case you run into anything like this or any similar model. Okay, so let me turn on the light and see how that works. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera down too, so it'll be easier for you guys to see what's going on. So, like I said before, I already took the liberty of taking most of it apart already, but I did put it back together so at least I could show people how to actually take this thing apart. So, because I think I did a video where I already took most of it apart and somebody pretty much complained saying like, oh, this is not a repair video, you already did all the work. I'm like, well, I showed you the parts that were important, but I guess that's besides the point. Anyways, okay, so as you see here at this panel, on the bottom over here, you will, I'm going to try to see if I can angle it here. As you can see that I kind of already opened it, but there's two divots right here. You can't really see it from the stand, but where the points of the stand are where these two fingers are. When this case is completely closed, you see that there's two divots here that you could actually use like a pry tool or something to pop itself open. And as you can kind of see, it's just held on by clips right here in the middle there. So what you want to do is pop one side open and then use a pry tool. So I use something like this. I'm not sponsored by iFixit, just to throw that out there. But I do use their toolkit quite a bit. If you don't have an iFixit, you could use a flathead screwdriver, and basically you pop one and you just run it all the way along the side, or use a plastic pry tool. People who have like foam repair kits, you could use that as well. Or, I mean, I've seen a video of some guy literally had like a metal spoon. I guess that works too. So all you want to do is basically get into here and go all the way down, undo all the clips. So you might want to do like a twisty type of motion just to pop the clips off. And then after you do that, it takes a little bit of tough love, kind of get like a good grip on it. Now this part here has clips on the side and also here. So what I usually do is I just kind of jimmy it up and you'll hear it clicking. That's basically breaking off the clips. There are clips up here that are also being held, and all the way down here too, like I said. Once you get that loose, just go ahead and angle it upward and just pull it away. And then that exposes the bottom here. So you have your hard drive, you have the speakers, and then you have your I/O and everything over here. Okay, so once you do that, you do want to get this out of your way. But before you do that, with the hard drive is pretty simple. There's a little clip here. Just push up and slide that way. There's an actual arrow that tells you which way to go. So you just pop that out. It just literally slides right off. The hard drive was already removed, so that's why it's obviously easier. So put that away. Okay, so now what you want to do is take a Phillips head screwdriver, and then there are two screws that are holding the stand. So go ahead and remove those. Now, you don't have to, but I highly suggest it only because when you remove the screen, this thing is definitely going to get in your way. So let me pull that out. Okay, take the screw out, and then take this one. Make sure you hold it here. Oops, sorry. Make sure you hold it while you're unscrewing. The last thing you want to do is have this thing drop on your toes. It's not a good feeling. Even though it's already held, there's other two clips here that are holding it in just in case. So then what you do, just kind of like go away and lift up, and then it'll just pop right off. And those are the two hinges that are being held onto the chassis here. Okay, so now after you remove that, you want to remove this top part here. But this DVD drive is actually on the chassis part itself. So let me see if I can show you on the camera. So in here, this section, there is a rivet where you can stick a flathead screwdriver in. This is to remove the optical drive. You stick the screwdriver and you just basically push it outward, and the drive will actually pop right out. Alright, so let me go ahead and do that for you guys. And they actually have a little image right here where it says push. Like I said, when I was taking this thing apart, I didn't find out how to remove this until I actually saw that. I was trying to rip this thing out. But anyways. Alright, so all you do is just take half flathead, and you don't hold the drive in, obviously. And see how the drive just slides right out? So then there you go. So there's the optical drive. Okay, now after you do that, what you want to do is there are 4 screw points right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This actually holds this top panel in. I've already removed them, as you can see. But take out the 4 screws there, and then all you have to do is just don't really be too gingerly with it, but just pry away from the unit, and it'll pop out these clips all along the side. And up here, do the same type of thing. Don't be afraid when you hear those cracking noises. That's just you removing it from all the clips that you see here. So you can see all the clip marks, all the clip locations and stuff like that. So you see all that. Okay. So let's put that away. Okay, so now you have the entire back of the unit completely exposed. So the next thing you have to do is you have to go along the perimeter. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you got to remove the speaker grill first. So there are 2 screws right here and right here where my thumbs are. So what you want to do is take out those 2 screws. And you don't have to worry about, like, you know, separating the screws. All the screws are exactly the same size. So you don't have to worry about, like, you know, like iPhones where they have specific lengths of the screws. Anyways, okay, so the bezel. Once you take the screws out, don't just rip it off. You actually have to pull down. You'll actually see there's clips as well, but there's a hole right below it. So what you want to do is just basically hold and then just slide it downward, and you'll hear a click, and then slide the other side downward, you hear a click, and then the bottom part just pops right off. Okay? Alright, let's see. Okay, so now as you can notice, there's like ribbon cables and stuff everywhere. Before you remove the panel, make sure to disconnect this one right here in the center. Now, I'm going to show you another way. If you could actually get these to unclip before, good for you, but I couldn't. So what I had to do was remove the panel just enough for me to get underneath it on the other end, because there is tape that are holding the plugs in. So this one here in the center, the LCD one here, which is also held by tape, and then this one over here. I think this leads to like the speaker or something like that. I don't really know, but there's one over here too. But anyways, okay. So if you can't, don't force it. Just follow this part first. So go all the way around the perimeter. There is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 screws all the way around. And then there are 3 in the center. So I put these back on just so I would remember to take them off and show you guys. So there is one here that you have to remove, which is right next to the fan. And then where you took off the stand, there are 2 screws right here, slightly diagonally above it, left and right. So you need to take those off too. How I found this out was after I took off the perimeter, the screen was kind of falling out, but it was still being held on by something in the center. So instead of me trying to manhandle it and rip it open, I noticed that it was, I tried to see where it was being held. So I took this screw off, it loosened up a little bit more, and then that one, and then the whole screen just basically popped right out, which I'm going to show you right now. So that's why I said to remove this, because you're going to want to lift it this way. So what you want to do is after that, it's a little bit adhesive, not very much. Could just be by the pressure of the plastic. But once you remove that, now you're able to kind of open it, right? So in order for me to remove that, the LCD cable, and this cable here, and that the third one, this one's actually not bad. I kind of, oh, that's a blank sticker, whatever. This one wasn't too bad to remove. I usually use a pair of needle nose pliers, or if you have one of those plastic pry tools, you could kind of grab the edge of the corner and kind of shimmy it out. This one didn't have any tape holding the plug in, but these 2 did. So what I did was I basically turned it around. So I'll show you guys now. Make sure you hold the LCD screen when you're rotating, because right now it's completely loose. So what I did was I lifted it, and you actually have a little bit of give once you take this cable out. But what you want to do is once you lift this part out, oops, this cable's stuck on there. Oh, there's something else stuck. Oh, that's why. Okay, so you lift it and just kind of put your hand underneath and kind of get that little sticker up just a little bit. Take your needle nose pliers or your fingers and peel it back slowly, just enough. And there's 2 metal clips here that actually hold it in. Now what's happening is also the LCD screen, the cable itself, it has adhesive on it too. So when you, it's kind of hard to, no, I'll show you afterward. Let me just remove this. So when you peel that off, this is the cable right here, and there's adhesive on the other side. As you can see right there, this is all the adhesive. So it's on the actual LCD panel itself. So when you're lifting, make sure you peel it gently first to free it up. Then grab the 2 clips and then just pull out, and then it'll disconnect it from that port there. And then the other one, where this tiny little one that was down here, same principle. You kind of lift it, and there's a little, that black tape. See how it covers the actual port? So same thing. Peel it back just enough to hold it back like this. And then what I did was I actually closed it back up to expose the hole a little bit. And I grabbed a pair of needle nose pliers to pop it out. You can go underneath and grab the cable and kind of jimmy it off too. But just be careful, because these wires are a lot thinner. Same thing with the LCD ribbon cable too, so you don't want to damage those, or you're going to have to basically replace it, and you have to trace it and take off this entire thing. It's a complete pain in the butt, so just be careful with that. But once you disconnect this one here, and then this one over here, you just basically just lift it away from you, and the LCD screen literally just pops right off just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to show you where it actually got damaged. So it's probably gonna be hard to see on the camera. Let me try to see it. Oh, okay, you can kind of see it right there. See that discoloration? So there's a crack all along here, and from that point, it just basically just wrecked the entire half of the screen. So the screen's not too expensive. I think on eBay, I found a part for around $200 for that. So we did quote the customer about that with I think an hour labor, so it was around like 300 and something. But unfortunately, they chose not to get this thing replaced. So we asked them, like, well, what would you like to do with it? They're like, just take it. I just need the hard drive. I'm like, sure. So we took the hard drive, did a backup for them, and then yeah. So I'm going to replace it and make sure everything else is working, and then just end up reselling it like I do with a lot of my units. But anyways. Okay, so there is the Lenovo 510-23ISH for your movement. And obviously, you know, to put it back, do the exact same thing, but just go opposite. And I was telling you guys before how all the screws are all the same size, so you can see. I just put it on a magnet just so I don't lose them all, but they're all pretty much the same. So, all right, so that is pretty much that for the screen removal. I will post, like I said before, I will post links in the comments to my YouTube page, and also if anyone watching happens to have this model, I'll send a link also with the link to actually get the part, and then also links to the iFixit kit that I use, and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyways, all right, so I will end it there. Pretty short, pretty sweet, and I will try to get more videos on Facebook Live and everything. Like I said before, I know that it's been quite a while, and I've been a little bit slacking when it comes to that. But hopefully, I'll be able to do some more. I do have other units in the back there that I have been working on, like a Microsoft Surface Pro 3. That was fun. Sarcastically speaking, of course, and then a couple of Chromebooks that I actually got to do some repairs too. But anyways, thank you everyone for watching. Once again, Kevin here from Freelance Computing, and yeah, thank you very much. Now I know Facebook just changed everything, so I don't know where to stop my stream or how to stop it. Oh, there it is. Just kidding. Okay, bye guys.